The Garnet and Old Show members only podcast edition. So, Vince, happy Sunday, first of all.
Happy Sunday. I think we both decided to black out for today.
Yeah. No,
What did you do today, Ryan?
a lot of organizing and rearranging some of the things in the house. My wife got her desk, a new desk set up, and she has put a Mac Mini in there,
Oh,
and yeah, and then plugged in 2 monitors, and the whole 9 yards, and then cooked dinner, and then I saw her off to work, and here we are. Anything exciting on your end?
we did most of our chores yesterday, but today I had a couple things left to do with the pool, which I completed, and then just made a fantastic dinner. A little pasta primavera with some pesto and some Italian sausage, some mozzarella pearls. Um, just a delicious summer meal. It was
Yep.
fantastic, easy to do, and I wish I had enough for everybody. And by the way, speaking of everybody, Ryan, this is our first members only show.
Yep.
So I did my best to try and get this out there. We posted it on YouTube, and also I put the link to the show in the Discord area on the members only chat as well. So it could be, Ryan, it could be just you and I chit chatting here, which is fine. But just suffice it to say that
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we're going to get everybody in here.
Well, also, with it being members only, whatever we record here will also still continue to be members only for a period of time.
Absolutely.
So if you're not watching this live, then and you're seeing it on your feed, that means that you're a member,
Right.
and that means that you have access to something that no one else will have access for, potentially for like a week or 2 weeks. So really a VIP experiencing. And the cool thing I like about this show, Vince, because it's not meant as much for the broad audience, for the whole internet. It's more you and I just having a good time. A little bit more relaxed, I think. Not as much going on, not as much switching graphics and bringing guests on and everything. Though we might in the future have a guest on, who knows? But it gives us a chance to kind of just go about it and have some fun instead of it being very, very organized and ready to go. So if you are seeing this and you're a member, thank you for being a member. Tell everyone else to become a member so they can also get this show a week early and ad-free access to it. So please become a member if you're not already. If you're seeing this a week from now, you could have had it a week ago.
You could have been hearing about the Sunday dinner on Sunday rather than on a Wednesday. But when Ryan and I were talking about what we should chat about for our first member show, it was quite obvious because of the things that have been going on here. The perfect opportunity to kind of just give our final thoughts on the draft and kind of how we were feeling about that, because that all happened kind of after the Thursday show. And then Ryan had a great idea, and that is we need to revisit our season predictions now that we have been enlightened by what happened at the spring showcase.
Yes. Now, again, this will go live for everyone else on a different date, but you guys get a little sneak piece. You members, you get a little preview of what Vince and I's thoughts are post spring for the upcoming season. Now, Vince, I can tell you right now, my prediction has changed.
Well, that's good, because I was wondering where my own predictions would kind of fall now that I've seen some things, and after I kind of rehashed it a little bit, I don't know that mine are much different, but I guess we can talk through them. That's what this is all about.
Before we get into that, do we want to go through some of our kind of post NFL draft? I guess information, our takes, what we got out of it as a whole.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's the best place to start, because the draft kind of wraps up finally the last season. It's the final wrap up there. And then the prediction things will kind of kick us off into next season. So I think it's the perfect thing to do is to start with the draft.
Yeah, I was really happy. I mean, listen, we were on the Renegade Report the other night. Spear Addict, sorry. They went live, right? And it was fun. It was
It was
something
a
else.
party line.
Yeah, it
It
was a
was
party line.
exactly.
And we watched the second round of the draft essentially. And I'm glad we cut it when we did because no one else got drafted that night.
Right. It was getting
Um,
late. It was getting early,
but
late early.
overall, really excited for the Rams, the LA Rams, getting two Seminoles in Braden Fisk and Mr. Jared Verse. Man, you talk about some fun, right? That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I've been telling people, Chris from Spiratics asked me on the show on Friday night who my pro team is,
Hmm.
and my pro team is the Steelers. And he asked me why, and I told him why, and he said, "Oh, I didn't think you were that old." There you go. But really, more in the last 10, 12 years, it's been more about following players than anything else
Yeah,
for me. So having Jared Verse and having Braden Fisk both with the Rams, I'm just looking forward to watching them play together. And I think everybody's seen the phone call, right, on Twitter or
yep,
on social, where you know Braden Fisk is talking to the coaches, and then Verse gets on, and yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a crier, Ryan, but I got to be honest with you. It kind of teared up a little bit hearing those two guys just had the excitement they have to continue to play together.
yeah. And you know what's cool, Vince, is that even though as fans you will always play these scenarios out or potential scenarios out for the draft as like wouldn't it be cool if this that or the other happened, right? When the reality is most of the time when it comes to the NFL it doesn't because it's the NFL is not taking into account where all the FSU Seminole fans want their players to go.
Right.
So when it does happen, like it just did, it's really really fun and special, and I'm so happy for those guys. And I do want to give a shout out, Seminoles. Welcome to
First one.
the members only live stream. I know there's a couple of our members that indicated they would watch this after the fact, after we posted it, and wouldn't be able to be here live. But Seminoles, man, he's doing the Lord's work here. He's showing
Listen,
up.
he's locked in, so I appreciate that, and I agree with you here. I don't know if it's my new favorite team, but I may watch them more than most because if you think about it, like they were just really starting to come into their own as a tandem toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened from that, right? They dominated the last, 2 or 3 games of the season,
Hmm.
as a tandem. And the transition to the pros is not easy. So I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to dominate, from game 1.
Yeah.
But if there's a combination of players that are dedicated to the work and are not going to let anything stand in their way. I mean, those are the two.
Yeah, and honestly, Vince, my next take is kind of my last one because listen, the NFL draft is what it is. Players lay in different places, and you really have to wait and see. Some players I thought were surefire, future Hall of Famers, yeah, we're out of the league in 2 years, and some guys I thought would be bums are starters right now. So you can't really tell that, but was really happy to see Travis get drafted, go to the Jets. Like we all listen. I mean, I think every prediction, every single website said that he was going to the Jets. So it was no big shocker there, but it was still a nice, exciting moment. So that would probably be my last, like, I guess, big takeaway is just I'm just happy for that kid. I'm happy to see Jordan land on an NFL team. And in my opinion, and I said this on Spiratics the other night, I think it's the perfect situation behind him because Aaron Rodgers is getting old. He just came off a season-ending injury. I would say at most, max value on Aaron Rodgers is probably 2 years, but more likely just this year. And so you're in a situation where you can learn from a veteran that knows the game better than anyone, and then get your shot to start later on. And I really think it's a good landing spot. Now, listen, I know the Jets' history, on quarterbacks. You know, we've been through the Mark Sanchez era. We've been through a lot of quarterbacks in the last 4 years. They've just rotated them in and out like they're, going out of style. But I do think that sometimes right situation, right place, right time. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And he'll learn a lot from Rodgers. He shouldn't take any health advice from Aaron, but he should take football
Yeah.
advice from him for sure. And Tyrod Taylor, I mean, I don't know what he brings to the mix, except for he's been in the league and like he knows the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a great situation. And for me, it was just more, my wife and I were out shopping during this time, and we're just kind of following it as we're walking around. And um, I was just waiting. I was waiting for it to happen for him,
Hmm.
because I was pretty confident it was going to happen. Just a question of when and to who. And when it happened, I just felt this sense of relief,
Like he's gonna be
because
all right.
yeah, if you think about last year at the game when he got hurt until like right now, or until he got picked. I mean, it's a lot of just tension and a lot of unknown and a lot of we feel really bad for him, all of those
Yeah.
things. And this was just kind of like you finally got to put your head above water a little bit with him. So it was great. The other thing that I'll add, Ryan, I don't know if you have any more about the draft, but the other thing that I'll add is hearing some of the phone calls with some of the guys.
Yeah.
Um, the genuine emotion. I think Jerry and Jones is one in particular, just genuine emotion about, dream coming true. And he couldn't be happier. You just can't be happier. Even for the guys that didn't get drafted, um, Florida State had 13 people available, to latch onto a team. And how many of them latched onto a team, Ryan?
Every single one of them.
Every single one. And they all deserved it. And even let's do a plus one. Amari Gainer also, you know,
Yeah.
he's a Tallahassee kid, and he was a Knoll for a while, and I'm just so happy for him too. I think your boy Brownlee got picked up.
Yeah. I was still to this day. You know me, I was a big Jarvis fan when he was here, so I was sad when he packed it up, and we were able to beat him.
No,
That was
and
fun.
not only beat him, but have a memorable moment with him
Yeah.
on the other side of the ledger there. So, but yeah, I mean, 10 picks, 10 draft picks. It's tied for the second most all time for the school. And, um, you know, it's amazing. 2013 had 11 players.
And that's something.
So there you
It's
go.
wild, man. It's wild. I will say, Vince. One question I want to ask: if Seminoles is still watching live, which I hope he is, uh, if you have a day that you think that the members only live stream should stream. Now we're trying to keep it probably weekend based. On average, I would say Saturdays and Sundays, except during football season, that'll change a little bit.
Sure.
Um, the Sundays work well for you? If so, let us know in the chat. And you might end up being a guinea pig on testing something for us later this
Yeah.
year.
And a little
Show.
bit
So,
later in the show, if you're still
yeah,
here, we want to test something out. So,
so, yeah, you're going to be our guinea pig if you're still watching. So let us know if you're still there in the chat. Um, any other? I don't have any other thoughts on the draft other than I'm happy for everyone, and I do love Mike Norvell leaning into. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use this for, uh, for recruiting for sure. Like who was it that posted towards him that was like, something tells me we're going to see a whole lot of how many players
uh,
drafted.
Bud Elliott, I think, was who
Yeah,
did
and,
that.
and Norvell retweeted it and did
He
a
just,
shrug. Yeah,
why would you not? I
yeah,
don't want to get off on a tangent here, but we're talking about social media and recruiting and whatnot and the portal and all this. But Have you been amazed by the turnaround with the Miami fans as it pertains to the portal now?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's wild. It's fun to watch.
Man, it's like there's no self-awareness, it seems. But it is social media, so that's kind of what you would expect. Um, but man, there's just a
Sometimes.
whole lot of people telling on themselves
Hmm.
right now.
It's hilarious.
Looks like MN is still here, so that's
Yeah,
good.
he's still here. So we'll use you as a guinea pig, and I actually have an idea. Once we're done, because we're going to get right now into our predictions for the next season. Once we're done, I want to hear Seminoles prediction for the season, and we're gonna try. We're gonna make an
We're
effort
gonna try it.
to get to make that happen in a different way. So stick around
Yeah.
to see if let's. Hey, it's beta test day, right?
Yeah, it really. I'm. Let's just say I'm a big percentages guy. I have a 40% confidence factor that this is going to work.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear, Vince.
There you go.
All right. So we went through spring. We did our recap. We know a little bit more about the team. Uh, not as many transfers enter the portal from FSU as I expected. Just gonna say it.
That's
I think
correct.
I expected a few more to be in the portal already, and that hasn't happened, which does make me happy. But Vince, at the beginning of the season, not the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the year of 2024 in January, I believe we did our last wins and losses kind of prognostication, and I
Hmm.
I got 13. I got a full 12-0 schedule
At the time, you did, yeah.
at the time. Now, remind me, what were you? Were you 11-1 or were you 12-0?
I think I was 11-1,
Yeah.
and I'll have to
So
go back and find it. To be honest with you, as I'm coming into this show, coming
yeah,
in hot on a Sunday dinner, coming in hot, thinking, "Oh man, I forgot to pull my predictions from the last show." So
yeah. I think you were
we're
11-1
going to
then.
have to go back, Ryan, and compare it. But I think I was 11-1.
All right, but we've seen spring, and I'm not going to say that mine's drastically different, but mine is different. So,
Beautiful.
Vince, I will read out the game. I will ask you for yours, and I'll give mine. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, the big one overseas, Saturday, August 24th in Ireland against Georgia Tech. Who you got, Vince?
I got Florida State and a W there, mostly because I'm going to be there and I'm going to will it to happen.
I've got a loss to start the season.
Hmm. Ryan, this is definitely different. You're
Yeah.
starting out with a bang here. So
So my thinking behind this, Vince, I don't know that DJU and the wide receivers yet be humming and locked in step on um I guess being on simpatico, right?
mhm.
And I think there could be some sloppiness. I think there could be some turnovers, and Georgia Tech doesn't suck. They're not
Yeah, I
terrible.
mean, well, let's just say, I mean, they're going to be they're not a pushover,
Yeah.
right? They're a decent team. Let me just tell you, I'm more confident in this game than I was in January, and that's because DJU and receivers aside, the running game is going to travel well, my friend, and that running game is going to be top notch.
I hope so. But seeing it in the spring, yeah, I thought last season's running game was going to be spectacular. So
That's true.
Monday, September 2nd, first home opener in Doak Campbell Stadium. Big win. Oh, go ahead. I'm going to say big win. I meant to go to you first, but
No, that's fine. That's a win for sure. Boston College is terrible,
yeah,
a whole lot of terrible, and so I don't have any problem there with a W. And it'll be interesting to um, see what's happening with the temporary seating. Like, I'm looking forward to that progression too. Go
yeah.
walking into Doak and seeing that.
All right. Memphis Tigers come to town. Mike Norvell's former team comes to Doak Campbell Stadium. Who you got, Vince?
I got a W.
Same. I got a W.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think that should be pretty cut and dry
Yep.
for that game as well. And the team will be um, because it's Mike's former team. There's not they always seem to be buttoned up, but there'll
Hey
be a
Vince,
little bit of edge.
you put a loss for me in Boston College. That was a win.
Oh, sorry. That would be
Don't
bad.
don't
Right?
don't don't put that Eve on me, Ricky Bobby.
Okay. Roger that.
All right, Cal. We play Cal at Doak. Welcome the newest member of the ACC. What do you think, Vince?
Cal is terrible, and that is a win. They're coming across the country. It is going to be, I don't typically prefer, noon games, but if you're gonna make Cal come all the way across the country,
Hmm.
why not throw a little southeastern heat and
Yeah,
humidity at them?
very nice. I agree. Big win for the Noles.
Beautiful. So, just so we go back, I want to backtrack a little bit here because, you got the Georgia Tech game, and then there's not necessarily a bye per se, but you got a little extra time before the next game, right? So,
No, you have
and
a
then
bye after Boston College.
what's that?
The bye's after Boston College.
Oh, correct. Yes, you're right. So
Mhm.
there's a bye right in here.
Yep.
So that's good. So we've got 2 games, and then you got a bye. And you got Memphis Cal. Now we're going on the road. And by the way, the Chiefs will be all the damn timing in Dallas.
Nice. Yeah, man. They travel on the road to Gerald Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Who you got, Vince?
Hmm. Yeah, I think the team will be fine in this game. I think it might be a little closer than we want it to be,
Mhm.
but I think they're going to win this game. SMU is kind of uppity,
Yeah,
and I think there's going to be a lot of chirping and yapping leading into that game,
I agree. Um,
and it's going to get the attention of the staff as well as the team.
I'm gonna say loss, Vince.
Mm.
Now, stay with me, folks. Don't give up hope. The message boards will be aflame with what is we doing? This can't happen. Where's all the talent? But hold with me, folks. All right. Joe Campbell Stadium, Clemson, DJU's former team comes to town. Vince, who you got?
I got a win here, and I'm going to predict a win here for you too, because
Yep.
if they do lose that SMU game,
There's no
there
way.
is no way that this next game is going to be a loss.
I actually think this will be a blowout win for
Yeah,
Florida
it
State.
has a chance to be. Um, who's taking over for Shipley at Clemson? Don't
Uh,
don't don't they have a new Shipley?
yeah, I'm guessing that he just re-enrolled and he'll be here another 10 years.
Yeah. So I'm living large here, Ryan. Right now, you got our team in the doldrums.
Yeah, we're on the edge of dropping out of the top 25. My guess here.
So you've got another bye here between
Yep,
Clemson
bye
and
week right
Duke.
there. Correct. And
So
then we go to Walls Wade Stadium, the treacherous waters uh of Durham, North Carolina against Duke. What do you, I think I know where you're going here, Vince.
new coach, right? Who's the new coach?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Ryan, you want a loss here for you?
No, that's a win.
Just checking. Just checking. All right. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Let me set the
You're
stage for the next one here, Vince.
all right. Build it up for me a little bit.
The Hurricanes are coming into this game undefeated.
Ooh, rattle off their schedule to me.
It's pretty
Florida.
rough. I don't have it pulled up, but I know it's got some toughies early on.
I'm going to pull it up while you're chatting.
Miami Hurricanes come into this game undefeated. Florida State, if you're going by my predictions, 2 losses. The U is being flashed. The X is on fire. All the message board. Miami thinks that this is their moment. They're ranked inside the top 10, Vince, because God knows the media loves to put Miami very quickly, forgetting all the years of ineptitude and terrible play in the past. And they come into this game, Vince, riding high. The Miami Hurricanes. Who you got, Vince?
Well, let me read this off to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know. You got Miami at Florida. Okay. That's the start off.
That's a
on
win.
my birthday, by the way.
Yeah, that's a
For
win.
those of you looking to give gifts,
And
that
that's a
is my
win not
birthday.
because Miami's great, but because Florida's terrible.
Florida's a whole lot of terrible. And then we got Florida A&M at Miami.
Win.
Pretty confident in a Miami win there.
Mhm.
Then you've got Ball State at Miami.
Win.
Pretty confident in a win there for them. Then you've got two or three that I'm thinking they're going to drop one of these next three, Ryan. You've got Miami at South Florida.
Nope. Not happening. That's a win.
You've got Virginia Tech at Miami.
Nope.
And then you've got Miami going across the country to Cal.
That's a win. Vince, these are all wins.
Then you've got Miami at Louisville.
That's the closest one, but I'm predicting that this is a classic build-up. Miami feeling themselves, and they're number 9, Vince. They're number 9 in the country, and we're 24 heading into this game.
Wow. That is interesting that you think they are going to be. I think they will lose at least. Sorry about that. At least one game leading into that, and possibly two. So I'm going to go win here, Ryan, because there'll be some ridiculous coaching problem. You'll have some kind of upheaval within the team. There'll be some kind of LifeLock news thing in the report. It'll be something like that that'll distract them.
So all that build-up, Miami's feeling themselves. Cam Ward at the helm. Cam Ward, multiple turnovers, fumbles all over the place.
He's been known to do it.
Can't hold on to the ball, and our defensive line has a field day. And we win by 3 touchdowns, Vince.
That would be beautiful.
Okay? And Miami fans get kicked back into the doldrums. But guess what? They're on the message boards the next day saying, only one loss. We run the table. We can play Florida State again in the ACC championship. But, Vince, because we don't talk about them the rest of our schedule, I'm going to say who are the 3 games following Florida State that Miami plays?
They have 4 games after. They've got Duke.
Loss.
They've got – they are a rival for them.
Yeah, loss.
You've got Georgia Tech.
Loss.
The ghosts of kneeling past. You got Wake Forest.
Win.
And you got Syracuse.
Win. So Miami actually has a pretty decent year, 10-2, but not enough, Vince, based on my prediction, to make it back to the because we'll be a tiebreaker at that point to reface Clemson in the ACC championship in the final ACC championship that Florida State and Clemson will be playing.
So, don't want to digress on Miami too much, but looking at their schedule, my goodness, if it's not this coming year, when is it ever going to be?
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
What a terrible, easy schedule.
10-2. I'm telling you, they're going to be 10-2, and they're going to think the world of it, and they're going to miss out on the ACC championship again, which they're known to do. And we're going to go because we won in the head-to-head matchup in the tiebreaker scenario. All right, but let's get past this.
Yep.
At
so
Doak, North Carolina.
At Doak. Yeah. At Doak, UNC, they're without Drake May. They're without Tez Walker. This is going to be a victory.
They still have Mac Brown, Vince.
They do.
But it doesn't matter. We win.
All right.
This is a tough one. And
now, the Chiefs currently are not planning on attending, that I'm aware of, Notre Dame.
Before you give your prediction at going on the road to Notre Dame, would the Chiefs at all change potentially a prediction for you?
I mean, in my heart, I want to say yes, but probably not.
All right, so I'm assuming you're going loss here.
I'm going loss here.
I'm going nail biter win. I think we pull it out, kick a big field goal, we win the game, and then we head into a bye week for potentially, Vince, the easiest stretch of our season by a mile, which is a great time to have a bye week. You're just chilling at this point.
I love having 2 cupcakes to end the season with, Brian.
Yes.
You get your people healthy.
In Tallahassee.
Yes, both at home.
Good weather games.
Both at home. The weather will be beautiful.
Weather will be beautiful. Looking forward to it very much so. When I saw this, that the final 2 games, because listen, I hate Vince. I hate when the Florida game happens to be away, and we have 3 games in a row to find the season. There's only 1 home game, and it's the second to last game or something like that. I want as many games in November as possible, and as it stands right now, we'll have 3 games in November in Doak Campbell, which is fantastic. But Charleston Southern, no chance, right?
No chance.
Mm-hmm.
And UF, I mean,
you already put the wins.
I already put them in because until I see anything resembling organization and forward momentum out of Gainesville, I cannot predict them to beat us.
Yes.
They have the money and they have the cachet to turn it around.
They do.
But
they don't have the coach.
They don't have the coaching staff. And that is a tough one for them.
Yep.
So
tough times in Gainesville. This Vince following this game, Florida fires their head coach. That's my prediction.
No, he might get fired before this, though.
Potentially. It would either be before or right after, right?
Yeah. I mean, their schedule is the antithesis of the Miami schedule. It is possible that he does not make it to the last third of the season.
I hope he makes just enough headway to keep his job for another year. That's my personal preference. I would like to see him win 9 games.
You know what would be great? And if they beat Miami, that might warrant him a whole nother season.
Yeah, because
we kind of get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah.
So, but out of these games, Ryan. So if I'm going to look at this, so I'm at 11-1, and I will say if there was another game that I think could potentially be a trip up, it's probably the SMU game.
Yeah. The only reason I'm going with that loss in Georgia Tech is this team has had the luxury, Vince, although we've had new pieces come in the portal, has had the luxury of having it's Jordan Travis. It's fine. We know who he is. They know who he is. They're used to him. They're used to how he throws, how he runs, how he runs the offense. And I think there's going to be some growing pains in the first quarter of the year with DJU. So much so that if it goes the way I'm thinking, there's going to be people on the message boards saying bench DJU, start Chromahawk. That's going to be a thing.
Sure.
But then we beat Clemson, and that's the game where people go, oh, wow, man, what a game. I feel good again. And then we beat Miami, and then if you do that kind of stuff, when you beat 2 rivals like that in 3-week period, you don't even remember that the first part of the year happened. And then what this sets you up for, based on my predictions for the year, is a Florida State and Clemson rematch in the ACC championship.
Yep.
And what a fun way to go out. The 2 teams that, are definitely booking.
Double birds on the way out.
Yeah. That's my prediction for that reason, because I want it to happen so desperately. I'm not going to give the prediction on that just because I want to see Clemson this year.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't really been paying too much attention. I know what they're not doing.
Yeah.
I know that they're not getting talent out of the portal.
That's true. That's very true. All right, Vince, are we ready to try some beta testing? Seminoles, I hope you're still in the chat. Let us know if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to try this. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens.
Grab your cell phone, Seminoles, or your landline if that's the way you roll, and try calling this number.
850-583-4466 or 850-583-4GNO. And we'll see what happens here. I don't know that I have this set up all correctly yet, but
there's only one way to test it, though.
There is only one way to test it.
Let us know if you're going to call in, and then we're going to get your prediction if you do for the upcoming season. And if you do join, make sure you mute your audio on whether you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching this on. Make sure you just mute that and only talk on the phone so we don't hear any echoes.
He might be indisposed where he can't actually call, though. That's
It's possible, but
It's
listen, we're gonna
possible.
hope. We're gonna banter for 2 to 3 minutes because Vince,
That's right.
I had some ribs tonight.
Oh, okay. You made them yourself, or you?
Costco ribs. You know the
Uh-huh.
ones that are like
Yeah.
pre-cooked, and then they come with the sauce. And so we air fry them, put the sauce on for the last 5 minutes, and let it get that glaze on it. And man, it comes out so tender and so delicious. They are pork ribs, so a little fatty for my taste. I prefer beef ribs.
MN, are you there? Beautiful. Ryan, can you hear him?
I cannot, Vince.
Hold, please. Hold, please.
Let's see if this works, ladies and gentlemen, live on the Garnet and Old show.
All right. MN, are you there?
I am here.
I can hear you.
Yes,
Fantastic.
beautiful. MN Seminoles, you are the first, and hopefully this is successful, the first and successful call-in, which Ryan and I are going to be planning to do some call-in shows this fall. And so this is awesome. So congratulations, you're the first, but also because of that, we're going to put your predictions in here as well.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Real easy.
Let's
I'm
go
going
game
12
by
and
game.
0.
Oh, he's going.
This is the easiest. Okay.
I think that they are going to be so intense and so determined to show up ESPN this year that they are just going to maul everybody they play.
I do not have any doubt that the coaching staff, I mean, they've not shown us anything else. If they have not shown us anything else, they have this team ready every week. So unless they all have the flu.
Yeah, that is true. And Seminole, so based on your
I think
prediction,
the only way they lose is ACC refs. Somehow in a close game, the refs pull something to cost them a game.
Could happen.
Yeah. Wouldn't be unheard of. Maybe they move the football when they're not supposed to. Maybe they eject someone that's really important when they shouldn't. But yeah, I hear you. You know what? I think that's going to happen regardless. There's going to be some suspect calls from the crews that are going to keep us on edge from a week to week.
Vince, I have to know, can he hear me?
Yeah, that's a big worry of mine, especially if they know that we're leaving. They don't want us to go out as champions. So that's my worry.
Yep. Quick question for you, MN. Can you hear Ryan?
No, I have not heard him yet.
That's fine. So, Vince, in the future, we'll just have to have one person DJ.
Roger that. Yeah. So, but this. I think we're 80% successful on the first call in. If we can figure out a way to get for you to be able to hear both of us, then it's a win. Then it's 100% win.
Well, I'm glad I could be the first.
We appreciate you, MN, and we appreciate the membership and the support. And feel free to call in whenever you want.
I will be doing that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I would say that was very successful, Vince, because I don't know, and I'm trying to think of all the other shows I've listened to, if they have had like one person being like the DJ and asking or bantering back and forth, but we could figure that. The most important thing is we could hear him on the show.
Correct.
Because a lot of times I would assume, Vince, we bring someone on, you ask them or whoever asks them the question, they give their talking point, and then they hop off.
That's right. And so then they're just listening after the fact. So they get their question. And it's not always necessarily like a back and forth.
Sweet. Well, I'm glad that worked. And hey, MN Seminoles predicting a 12-0. And listen, I was right there with you in January. I predicted 12-0 myself, but could I change again? We're going to do another one in fall.
Always. We'll do another one right right before the season starts.
Because Vince, in the offseason, one or two major transfers from other programs that are like day one starters, like at wide receiver, or day one, stud of a linebacker, and I'm right there back to thinking about 12-0.
Yeah, still remains to be seen what kind of gaps are filled.
Yeah.
And the team is we do have some needs, right? We do have some needs. So we'll see what happens with that. And this is the perfect time for all that to be happening. So, but I'm at 12-1. You're at 10-2.
Both successful
Oh, I'm
campaigns.
sorry. I'm at 11-1. You are at 10-2, and MN is got the team basically rolling on.
Now, Vince, I mean, even 10-2, that's a successful year, especially if you win the ACC and make this with a 12-team playoff. It just doesn't matter as much anymore. It really doesn't.
No, I know.
If
I
you
know.
are, in the old BCS era, God knows that wouldn't get it done. But
No.
even in the 14 playoff, most 10-2 teams, wouldn't have a chance. Most. So, but these days with 12 teams, and heck, I'm sure they're even thinking about expanding it in the future. It's less important that it's going to become more about home field advantage now in the playoffs, which
Sure.
is exciting. We're going to have playoff
The
games
higher
at Joe
seed,
Campbell.
the higher seed you can be, that's what it's going to be about. And
Yeah,
and
you
you
get
know
a
what?
bye.
That's what it should be about.
Yeah, because listen, you see in the NFL, the wild card weekend, right? A bunch of teams get off; they just get to relax and get their bodies right, because that's important that time of year when you're headed into the playoff. You're going to have bumps, bruises, nicks, dings, and everything, and you want to be the team that has the bye.
You want to be the team that not only has the bye, but you want to have the team that has 3 byes throughout the season,
And that's us.
which is us. So,
And I
you
would
know,
say that Charleston Southern and Florida are essentially 3 weeks in a row of a bye.
there'll be a lot of healing going on
A lot of healing.
during those weeks, which is great because it is the end of the season and you'll be leading into the championship game. Yeah,
Vince, I say
very
we open up
exciting
the
stuff.
phone lines on the Garnet and Old Show live this Thursday and see what happens.
We should do it. Let's have a call-in segment, and we'll work toward that. So, we'll as we wrap up this show, um, depends on maybe Ryan. I don't know when you want to make this show available to the Gen Pop, but we could put it out there right beforehand and maybe tease that we're going to have some call-in.
Yeah, I would like to put it out generally the morning of our next, I would say next Sunday, a full week.
Okay.
For the members only ones. We'll still do the regular Garden Old show for everyone
Yeah.
who's a normal listener. That ain't a problem. Now, Vince, I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to jinx it, but we could get some good news tomorrow.
Yes, we could get some good news tomorrow. And if we get good news tomorrow, we'll let the members know right away that we've gotten some good news.
Now, this good news has been potential good news like 3 other times, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, so
I can tell
we don't
everyone
want to jinx it.
it's not recruiting related, it's not
And it's
transfer
not
related.
lawsuit related.
It's Garnet and Old related specifically, but I'm not going to put my eggs in the basket just yet.
Good call. Good call, my brother. 2000 is next. We're going to do all the commercials here. 2000 is next. Like, share, and subscribe. It's going to get us there. That's how we're going to get there. So don't forget to tell all your friends about it. And make sure, of course, I think you guys this is the members video. So you guys are all already doing this, but I'll put this up here for anybody that catches this after we make it available to all. Follow at VC Noel, follow at Big Papa East, follow at Garnet_Old.
Get in the Discord too.
And the Discord. Yeah. I mean, the Discord, do I have Garnet Old Discord. I got banners for everything, Ryan. Not that one. Garnet Old Discord.
When the reality is, listen, the Discord is going to take over the long haul, a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's how people trickle in. But that's how you're going to get mine and Vince's attention the quickest. If you want a direct contact for me and Vince, find us in there because we're waiting.
A good question might be, if MN is still listening, I posted this. Did you have notifications turned on YouTube, or did you see it in the Discord channel when I put the link in there?
Or
So
did
if
it
you
just
want to,
show in your member, like in your
right,
YouTube
just curious how that
subscriptions?
works.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure all the members get that info. And
I wish YouTube allowed us.
I'm not sure that I put it out there in the way that everybody would see it.
I wish there was a way that YouTube we could blast it out.
There he goes. He was notified.
Okay, that's good news. Then
Beautiful.
that's what I was hoping for.
So we got
Now,
to tell all the
Vince,
members to make sure their notifications are turned on.
I got a little update. I'm not going to say anything about the specifics, but Vince, while we were talking about the potential good news, I messaged the person we're talking about and asked, "Are we all set?" And the reply was positive.
Okay.
So we'll see. And I know you're going to be excited for that. So Vince, if it does go well, I and that person might be jumping on a call tomorrow.
Love it. I'll be available at any time, Ryan, to move Garnet and Old forward. My heart is in it. I'm available to you whenever you need me.
All right, perfect. All right, I think that'll do it, everyone. Thanks for participating in the first members only live for the Garnet and Old show. We will be going posting this for the whole Garnet and Old crowd next week, but members only for a week, and you can become a member by hitting the join button on YouTube. So hope to see more members join, and thank you for all the members. Thank you, Seminoles, for being our beta tester tonight. And Vince, screw ESPN eternally. And
Chiefs all the damn time.
go Noles, everyone.
Go Noles.